Do you feel like you're working your tail off to provide a great youth ministry, but like all you really hear about from parents are just complaints and things that they don't like about how it's going on? Does it feel like to you that parents just don't really value youth ministry as much as you do? If you believe that myth, stick around. We're going to talk about the myth that parents don't care about youth ministry. Hey, my name is Ronald. I'm with Youth Ministry Insider, and I've been doing student ministry for the last 16 years. And I got to tell you, I have heard my fair share of complaints about youth ministry from parents. Here's the deal. Maybe you feel like parents complain too much, right? They talk about how things go wrong with the retreat. All you hear about is when things don't go the right way. Maybe they're just listing off reasons of why they feel like their kids aren't connected to the youth group at all. Or maybe you get the feedback that every single time you teach a lesson, it's wrong for one reason or another. Maybe you feel like parents don't make time for church, like they don't show up. You feel like the parents just don't make church a priority, like any other thing could come up and they will gladly get rid of church in order to make time for other commitments. Or maybe they feel like their kid is never even actually at youth group and kind of feels like the parent is a little MIA. Maybe it feels like to you like they'll drive 3 states over for like a soccer tournament, but they really refuse to drive across town for a youth event. And it feels like their priorities are all out of whack. Maybe you feel like parents forget everything. Or to say it a different way, they don't prioritize youth ministry. It seems like they're a week late for all the signups that you put out, and it seems like they don't remember like when youth group ends, when it begins. They're always forgetting their kids everywhere. And it feels like no matter what deadline or date you put in front of them, they can't remember it. And so when it comes time for things to be due, they're just not paying. But what if? I want you to just take a second and consider with me. What if the reason that parents complain is because they actually really do care a lot about the ministry? What if they really want their kid to fit in? They really want their kid to be a part of the student ministry. They want their kids to feel connected in a world that's increasingly not connected. Maybe they want their kid to really be a part of something bigger than them, to learn the Bible, to have a good relationship with Jesus. What if parents actually do prioritize faith, but they don't know what to do with it? Maybe they know to pray over meals and dinner, but they're kind of not sure like what to do past that. Maybe you've got parents who will prioritize faith in ways that look just a little different than you might expect. They want to read the Bible as a family, but maybe they just don't know how to make a habit out of it. Maybe they're just feeling like really guilty about not doing more family Bible time, and so because they feel guilty, they don't do anything. And what if parents are just overwhelmed by all of it? Let's be real. Parents are busy. We're all busy. They're juggling dates and school and church and their own activities. It's a lot to put on their plate. And then when we add in church to it, sometimes it might feel like church is just another commitment, another thing they have to go and be a part of. And so when it looks at all the dates on their calendar, it feels like things just really add up really quick. And there's so much going on that it's hard to make time for it all. Here are some tips, some ways we can flip the script. And I really want you to think about how this could impact your own ministry. Okay, so let's go. First thing, listen to parents, to the complaints, and to their praise. There's so much that you can do with a parent when you just listen to them. Let them know that you are paying attention, and let them know that you are there for them. You're on their team. Take parents out to coffee. You'd be doing them a big favor if you just sat down and listened to them. Don't try to fix it right in that moment. Just listen. Ask them what the biggest issues in their family are. Ask them how you can be praying for them, and even ask them how the youth ministry can help in that moment. Maybe you can try to figure out how to help them minister and disciple their kids. They love their kids. You know this. They know this. Maybe they just need a little extra nudging on how to have an important conversation. If they can't do it at church, maybe they can do it when they're doing chores, doing the dishes, spending time together in the car on the way to soccer practice. What if you made some resources to let parents know how to have important conversations with their parents? Maybe even sending an email each week saying what you talked about in youth group and how parents can continue the conversation at home so that they don't have to do the heavy lifting, but instead they can just pick up where you left off. What if, as a youth ministry, you gave your parents the tools that they needed to be able to disciple their kids so they didn't feel like they were having to just start from scratch on their own? And maybe you can try to think about how you can not add to the overwhelm, but instead work inside of it. Let's be real, we're all busy. We've got a lot going on. How can you communicate with parents in such a way that will help them rather than hinder? Let them know when summer camp is a whole year in advance. Give them a chance to plan things out. You've got a lot going on. They've got a lot going on. Make sure you don't schedule your stuff happening on the same weekend as homecoming or Thanksgiving or Christmas break. You can really help parents and not overwhelm them if you just take a second and plan so that that weekend that they do have free, they don't have to feel guilty about choosing between their family and the youth ministry. I know that it's tough to minister to parents, and it can feel like we get all of the complaints and none of the good stuff. But I promise you, youth pastor, parents really do care about their students. They want their kids to love Jesus. It's something that is truly important to them if they also are Christians who are following Jesus. Let's try to think of how we can help parents rather than add more guilt onto what's going on in their worlds. Youth pastor, I believe in you. You're going to do this. You're going to do a great job. God's going to do some awesome stuff through you and your ministry, and it might even happen this week at youth group. I'm Ronald Long. This is the Youth Ministry Insider. Thanks for hanging out. And hey, I want to make sure that you know I've got an awesome 4-week series on gratitude called Gratitude, the Attitude of Joy. And it's got everything that you need in order to have a wonderful month of youth ministry. It's got games, lesson outlines, slides, as well as an entire month of social media for you to schedule and emails that you can be sending to parents to let them know this is what we talked about in youth group today, and this is how you can continue the conversation with parents and students. It's a huge resource. I'm giving it away for free. All you have to do is click the link in the description. I hope it's helpful to you. That's why I put it together. Have a great week. And again, I believe in you, youth pastor. You got this.